What's up guys, welcome back to the north, or should I say the south, because today I am fishing Sun Lakes, Arizona for some night catfish. But first, here's some background information. Also, it snowed heavy overnight here in Alaska. Here's what it looks like. First snow of the season. Technically not, but also probably the permanent snow of the winter. Quick add-on, most of these videos are blurry and dark. I brightened them artificially, but they are still not the best, as some parts of the video may not be part of the original video because one of my family members was in the footage. Thanks for understanding. Alright, now for some background information. Sun Lakes is a retirement community just outside of Phoenix, Arizona. It has a private golf course and, of course, man-made lakes. These lakes are stocked with mainly catfish, grass carp, and largemouth bass. In this video, I will be covering the catfish I caught at night in a few of these lakes, but if you want to see me fishing for the other species, go check out my channel, and while you're there, consider subscribing. On the first night, we went out with year-old catfish bait. I forgot the brand, but it was just the first stuff we found in a store. And then we threw it out, we set up, and we waited until a few nibbles led to our first hookup. So here we see me looking at the camera, and I'm trying to see if the camera's actually rolling, trying to get my brother to film it correctly. And once he tells me it is rolling, then I keep biting the fish, start focusing on the fish. You can see here, I'm still fighting the fish pretty well. Putting a good bend in the rod, even though it's kind of a smaller fish you'll see at the end. And then it pretty much comes right in. After I pull on it a few much, it swims towards me, and that kind of was its mistake. As you see, I pull it right over here onto the rocks.
Right.
Then here I'm pulling it off the hook, and then I pick it up and show it to the camera. My brother's talking, so I muted it. There's a nice one, and I'll show you the photo here. And then here's the terrible quality release video. Now after that fish, it did not take long for the next one to come right in, mainly because our baits have been soaking for about an hour, and then all the catfish, they're starting to swarm around our baits. And yeah, here's the next one, pulled up probably about 15 minutes after this one that I just caught. So here I was worried that the fish was going to get tangled in the other line, which we had just reeled in. On the surface. Come on. And you can hear throughout this section of video how loose the drag is, and you can hear in a second where I tighten it right here. And then once I figured out the drag and the correct setting for it, it came right in. You can see it splashing there on the surface. Came right in. Oh, it's a smaller one, I think. No, it's actually So here I pull the fish up, and you can see it's kind of a nicer fish. I will say here that we do use pinched barbed J hooks so that the fish don't usually swallow it too deeply, and even if they do, it's really easy to hook them like that. And then here's the photo of this fish coming. He's biting me. And you can hear at the end of that clip where I say it's biting me, and then at the beginning of the release clip here in a second, it gets me real good. Now, catfish, they don't really have that much of a teeth. They don't really have that much of a bite because their teeth are more of like a sandpapery kind of feeling to them. But they have a bite strength, and it really pinched me. It was like, it actually was surprised me.
Yep. Go.
That one hurt. That bite hurt. There he goes. Alright, you can edit now. And that was all we caught that day. We came back the following night, and here was two nice ones we caught the following night, and that was pretty much it for that night too. Then the next day and a few days during the week, we went up to Grand Canyon and a few other places up north. I would highly recommend Grand Canyon and also Antelope Canyon up in Page, Arizona. It's really cool. Here's a short video of me at the Grand Canyon. This is my first time visiting the Grand Canyon, and I'm just saying, that's just crazy. Looks like a 3D space, but it's like all rendered over there and not actually real. It's crazy. The night we came back, we went out again, and this time I was after carp. So I had corn on my hook, and I was chumming the water with corn, which seemed to bring the catfish out into a frenzy. So I ended up catching a catfish on corn, which is why we were surprised in this video clip. We didn't expect to catch any catfish on corn, but it ended up eating it, and we ended up catching like 5 or 6 total in like 15 minutes. It was crazy.
Here, let me walk over here. He's coming in. What? Should we take the rod? It's a catfish. Seriously? Yeah. All right. So let me give. Oh, you found him. Holy crap, that was amazing.
So like I said already, the events of this night were actually really crazy just because the catfish got in a frenzy at this lake. I hooked this fish after helping my family member with a fish and didn't realize there was a fish on it until I saw my rod dragging across the ground to the water, and luckily I got to it. And that happened twice. That's how often we were catching fish. We had to reel in the line every time somebody caught a fish, because otherwise we would probably lose a rod. And this next video here, you can see I'm fighting a pretty good fish, and I reach out to grab for it, and my leader breaks, and I lose the hook and the weight on it, and you can hear my visible frustration at the end of the video. And finally, here's one catfish that I didn't really film, or I didn't film catching, but here's the photo of it and one nicer photo there. And if you enjoyed this video, consider hitting the subscribe button. I've got more content of day fishing in Sun Lakes, as well as some other stuff of my excursions in Arizona. And if you want to see more of that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And if you liked this song, the background song in this video, then go check out my channel, TheArcticCircle. It will be linked in the description down below, because that is one of my songs, and I would love it if you went and listened to my album. That would be sick. Alright, I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.